of Central State?
I think it's virtual. They said, I don't know, because they got so much stuff going on. And then a parent posted pictures of like what's going on in Green and Anderson and stuff. So who knows?
What is the stuff going on?
Green has mice. Like Green had a lot of like people were getting mice in their room.
Is that your place?
I used to live over there, but then I moved. I was like, I can't do it. Like I had that problem younger. I could not do it. I hated it. Like, I stopped going downstairs because of it. But what else? And then they said that the snake got in.
Well, yeah, they want to eat the mice.
Yeah, I was just like, shoot, and I guess it was in someone's room.
Right. Interesting that it's.
Right.
Is it a rat snake then? One of those.
It was something like the mom posted it on Facebook.
Oh, the mom did?
Yeah, it added to school because like I guess like it had a Green had a lot of problems.
So if I search Facebook, I could find the.
I don't know. I really don't know because like it was crazy because like she added to school. She was like Central Capture Days, and then she sued because she was talking about because she said that there was mold in the bath. Like some people said they have mold in their bathroom.
Right.
I'm like, well, shoot, I got mold in the house I'm in right now.
Right.
I mean, you get it. It's in the bathroom, but we have vents. They just don't work.
That's not good either.
Like you can't turn them on or nothing. And then like, what else? I think my vent a couple of times like water was leaking in there.
So I have to search Facebook Central State mice.
No, I don't know what that mom did. I don't even know the mom's freaking name. It was just it happened all out of nowhere. It was crazy. But it was like, damn, there was a snake in there? Come on.
Central State snake and mice.
Oh, you looking that up?
If she put it on Facebook.
I don't think you're gonna find it. It might be private.
Oh, well then it wouldn't get around to anybody.
I don't know. She just like the mom posted. Whoever followed her found it on Facebook, and then they posted it on Instagram, and then like that's how it got out. Like nobody knew until she posted it.
They have Miss Central State University Queens. I didn't know that.
I didn't know they came, honestly.
All right, so 2 days ago, Lincoln Theater.
Oh yeah, they have to.
Homecoming. Oh, Dr. Allen. Did you ever have her for class?
Who is she?
She was the original director here for our first round of accreditation.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Never met.
Yeah, she would have left in 2021.
I never had her.
Is that the year you started, though?
That was freshman year? No, 2021. It's 2022 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
2021 or 2020.
Okay.
2020. I don't know.
Well, let's see if I can find the.
Video?
Yes.
Not only
It is possible. It's 3:33. We've got Blake and Bianca so far. Blake and Bianca. So seeing for those of you who presented, who has left, because we've got let's see if that one works.
So if you have video, just on the computer.
You fell asleep on the train. What year was this? Right. Just a few weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
taken a lifetime to search all the stations in India. Idea what it's like out there.
Hopefully the sound is better for you guys when oh yeah, you were the one who submitted that. Is that the day that you presented?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think,
Okay.
I tried.
I know. Well, and I feel like there's a few others we got to get to. Okay, this is an actual video. There's Lichtenberg. He's present for class. Let's see if this works. So sometimes Apple videos don't play well with other videos. From like a Apple iPod. Or... Got to count my steps to turn off the light. 1, 2, 11, 12, 13. It might be 25. You got to get 10,000 per day. Let's see. Yeah, should I see if I even have close to that? I bet you I'm only at a mile so far. Yes, I had 4.1 yesterday, 0.8. That is just abysmal, but that's what happens when you're in front of a computer all day. Okay. So here is a presentation.
Hello, my name is Adrienne Mitchell, and in this presentation, we will be discussing schizophrenia. So what is schizophrenia? Schizophrenia is a disease in the brain when an individual interprets reality abnormally. An individual's brain cannot function in many categories, such as decision-making, emotion management, and the ability to think or speak clearly. So people with schizophrenia tend to struggle in those different categories. Schizophrenia makes it more harder to distinguish between what's real and what's not real. So they have trouble interpreting what's going on in their reality. And according to this MayoClinic.org article that discusses schizophrenia, a quote has said, schizophrenia may result in hallucinations, delusions, and extremely disordered thinking and behavior that impairs daily functioning and can be disabling. And it affects an estimated of 25% to 64% of Americans. To everyone who don't know what a hallucination is, it's a perception of having seen, heard, touched, tasted, or smelled something that wasn't actually there. So that goes back to when I discussed how schizophrenia people it's hard to distinguish between what is real and what's not real. And for the people that don't know what delusions are, a delusion is basically not necessarily misinterpreting something, but well, yes, it is reinforced by the misinterpretation of events. So you believe something that didn't actually happen. So what causes schizophrenia? Believe it or not, the causes of schizophrenia are still not 100% certain, but researchers have discussed how chemical imbalance and other changes in the brain can be a factor in schizophrenia. It tends to run in families, but the environment may also play a role. And according to this article from weekspringer.com, and the name of the article is called Non-Genetic Factors of Schizophrenia. A quote has said, environmental risk factors such as pregnancy and birth complications, childhood trauma, migration, social isolation, urbanicity, and substance abuse alone, in combination acting at a number of levels over time, influence the individual's likelihood to develop the disorder. Schizophrenic symptoms in neuroscience. Schizophrenic symptoms typically begin between the ages of 16 years old and 30 years old. It is also common for there to be signs of schizophrenia during the adolescent stage. And the symptoms of schizophrenia are categorized as positive, negative, and cognitive. And on the left side of the screen, here's a link to a YouTube video that further discusses the neuroscience and symptoms of schizophrenia, and it's only 2 minutes long. And the picture on the right-hand side, it shows the brain of a normal human being that has no signs of schizophrenia, and on the right side of the picture, it shows the brain, the thought process of someone who deals with schizophrenia.
Bad trade deals have screwed Ohio. China's winning, workers are losing, and political parties are only concerned with scoring points. Enough stupid fights. That's our team. Patriotism means supporting the American worker.
Schizophrenia is a potentially severe psychiatric condition that involves a variety of
Let me
symptoms.
pause this.
The symptoms of schizophrenia
What'd you ask?
Who is Edison?
He's the chair of our department.
He's my professor.
What did he ask?
Nothing. He's just my professor for next. For human behavior.
Oh, it's probably just a place mark. It'll be another social work person though.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just.
are often categorized as positive, negative, or cognitive. Positive symptoms involve the development of a behavior or thought pattern that isn't normally present, such as hallucinations and/or delusions. Negative symptoms involve the loss of a normal function and include lack of motivation, blunted emotion, or difficulty experiencing pleasure. Cognitive symptoms are those that affect someone's ability to think clearly and include deficits in attention, memory, and/or concentration. The neuroscience of schizophrenia has been difficult to sort out. A great deal of research is focused on neurotransmitter abnormalities at the root of the disorder. Dopamine has received much of this attention, with the general hypothesis being that dopamine activity is too high in certain parts of the brain in schizophrenia. This hypothesis was originally formulated based on the findings that drugs used to treat schizophrenia act to reduce dopamine activity. Drugs that increase dopamine levels, such as amphetamine, can induce behavior that in some ways resembles the psychotic states schizophrenic patients experience. The idea that increased dopamine activity plays a role in schizophrenic symptoms is now supported in a large body of evidence. However, dopamine irregularities alone do not seem to explain all the symptoms of schizophrenia. Glutamate abnormalities, such as dysfunctional glutamate receptors, also occur in schizophrenia, and these may be capable of accounting for some negative and cognitive symptoms, something that dopamine levels have been less successful in explaining. Additionally, it has been proposed that dysfunction in glutamate systems may precede and lead to the dopamine hyperactivity observed in schizophrenia. While it's uncertain what causes these neurotransmitter abnormalities to emerge in the first place, it's generally believed that schizophrenia can be traced back to disruptions in early neural development that occur due to the influence of both genetic and environmental factors.
Okay,
It is very genetic. Yep.
so here's a brief history of schizophrenia. Dr. Emil Kraepelin in 1887 first identified the mental illness, but the term schizophrenia was first used in 1911 by a Swiss psychiatrist who goes by the name of Bleuler. And the term schizophrenia comes from the Greek roots of schizo, which means split, and phrene, which means mind. Bleuler used this name to emphasize the mental confusion and fragmented thinking characteristic of people with mental illness.
Do you also?
So, Eugene Bleuler is the guy on the left,
Only deaf and dying.
and Dr. Emil Kraepelin is the guy
Yeah,
on the
favorite
right
patient.
side.
Have what?
Favorite patient?
Sometimes, yeah. There's some that are kind and some that are annoying.
Okay, so there's 5 different types of schizophrenia.
Hello.
The first type is paranoid schizophrenia, which is the most common type. And it's characterized by predominantly positive symptoms of schizophrenia, including delusions and hallucinations. Someone experiencing a paranoid delusion may believe they're being harassed or persecuted, which is what paranoid schizophrenia is. Schizophrenic/disorganized schizophrenia describes a person with schizophrenia with disorganized thinking symptoms, unusual speech patterns, flat affect, and emotions that don't fit the situation. So basically, disorganized schizophrenia can cause people to have a difficulty concentrating and maintaining a train of thought, which manifests in the way they speak. So, and also with disorganized schizophrenia, when a person has had at least one schizophrenic episode, they'll experience positive symptoms. Okay, so catatonic schizophrenia is a rare severe mental disorder characterized by striking motor behavior, typically involving significant reductions in voluntary movement or hyperactivity and agitation. So a person may move their body very erratically and hyperactive, but they will also not move at all, like not even a centimeter. So undifferentiated, I don't know why I'm having a difficulty time pronouncing this word. It's kind of a tongue twister. Undifferentiated. Anyways, the fourth type of schizophrenia is a subtype of schizophrenia in which the individual exhibits the characteristic symptoms of schizophrenia, but the overall picture is not one of the catatonic type, paranoid type, or disorganized type of schizophrenia. So undifferentiated, I don't know why I'm having a hard time pronouncing that word. Okay.
It happens.
So signs of this type of schizophrenia comes from the negative symptoms, such as reduced ability to express emotions, social withdrawal, and reduced hygiene and self-care. And residual schizophrenia is a subtype of schizophrenia in which the individual has suffered an episode of schizophrenia, but there are no longer any delusions, hallucinations, and disorganized speech or behavior. During the residual phase of schizophrenia, there are more positive symptoms, so hallucination, disorganized behavior, and delusions. And when a person has had at least one schizophrenic episode, but is no longer experiencing any more positive symptoms, kind of like disorganized schizophrenia. Is there a cure for schizophrenia? Sadly, there's no cure for schizophrenia, but schizophrenia can be treated, and the current treatments aim to manage or reduce symptoms. Recent research and systematic reviews suggest that early pharmacological and psychosocial treatments for people with schizophrenia and other psychotic disorders can improve their prognosis and even help chronic illness. Most people take medication for 1 to 2 years after their first psychotic episode to prevent any more schizophrenic episodes from recurring, and for longer if the illness is recurrent. And here are some schizophrenic stats. So schizophrenia affects approximately 24 million people, or 1 in 300 people worldwide. This rate is 1 in 222 people among adults. And it's not common as many other mental disorders. Schizophrenia stats suggest that in a given year, roughly 100,000 people will be diagnosed with this disorder in the U.S. To date, as many as 25 million cases of schizophrenia have been diagnosed. 20 million people have schizophrenia, but less than a third receive treatment. The schizophrenia statistics illustrate the prevalence and treatment gap of this disorder. People with schizophrenia are 2 to 3 times more likely to die early than the general population. About 10% of people with schizophrenia commit suicide and are more likely to have a drug or alcohol abuse problem. And that is the end of the slideshow. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. Thank you.
All right.